What's up, y'all? This is Marcus Sniffles, MCU fan, casual, non-comic book reader. Here with some Thunderbolts content here. So the Thunderbolts trailer just came out. I've actually been sitting here trying to do this video for a little bit, and Marvel is a big stickler for the whole copyright thing, so I couldn't do an actual live reaction to the trailer because YouTube kept taking it down, which, I mean, I get it. It's Marvel. It's a big deal. It's a big trailer for them. So I'll give my initial thoughts on the video, and I'll give you kind of 5 things I would like this movie to answer about the greater MCU. Before we get into that, if you could do me a big favor, just like the video, hit that sub button. It's free to do both of those things. So if you could do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. So off the rip, the action looks great. Big fan of that. Big fan of the more like hand to hand, Black Widow, Captain America, Winter Soldier style of action. Not a lot of, I don't like seeing, I mean, it's not that I don't like it, but I think it'll be a little bit refreshing to watch a Marvel movie without, laser beams and massive amounts of CGI and green screens and special effects like that. So I think this will be good outside of the Ghost character, obviously, but I think this will be a nice little change of pace. So some of the things that did catch my eye was towards the end of the trailer when V is holding a glass of wine and all the Thunderbolts come up the elevator. That little office or that little area kind of reminded me of the first Avengers when Tony Stark met with Loki. That place kind of looks the same to me. So I'm kind of guessing that V and whoever she's working for, I'm guessing that she bought Avengers Tower, like whatever what was the movie? Spider-Man Homecoming, where Tony was selling Avengers Tower, moving all his stuff there. I think that she bought that building and now that's where they're operating from. Some things that I'm kind of curious about is Marvel's been doing this for a very long time. And I feel like for the Thunderbolts to work, if you're going to go see the Thunderbolts, I'm assuming you've seen Ant-Man 2 with the returning villain of Ghost. I'm assuming you've seen the Winter Soldier with Bucky and all the movies that he's been in, and Black Widow with Elena and the Red Guardian. My question is, does this TV show or does this movie work if you haven't watched the TV shows? Like if you just don't have Disney Plus, you're just not into the TV shows. If you haven't seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you don't know who John Walker is. You don't know his story. You don't know what he's about. Does this movie still work? If you didn't watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier and you don't know the kind of character arc Bucky has been on, does this movie still work? If you haven't seen Hawkeye and you don't really understand why Elena is there now, does this movie still work? And that's kind of not the beef, but that's kind of my issue with some of what Marvel does with their TVs and movies. It's almost like the movies come out, the TV shows come out, but their main focus is the movies. And if you see the TV show, it's fine. But most of the time, the movies either just throw in 1 or 2 lines to kind of quickly explain what's been going on, or they kind of just ignore what happened on the TV show, kind of like what they did with Wanda in Doctor Strange 2. They kind of just ignored all of her character development from those movies or from the TV show. And even if you didn't see the TV show, you see Wanda from Endgame to Doctor Strange 2, and it's 2 completely, totally different characters. Like to the breaking point. And it's just like, how did we get all the way over here with little to no explanation? So that would be my main I guess not concern, but yeah, it's a concern. Like I want the people that are making the movies and TV shows to be kind of working together to tell a better, more cohesive story. Because if not, then just tell separate stories and keep everything separate. Like that would be my thing. This Bob character, apparently that guy's the Sentry. I don't know if he's a popular character in the comics. I don't know anything about him. I'm guessing he's like Superman. So that's pretty exciting. It'll be cool to see how he kind of, fits into everything. What else do we have? Oh, the question I had, the director. Not really, I can't really pronounce his name, but this is like his big first major film. So he could either take a risk and do something very artistic and different and try to make a real name for himself with this movie, or because he's new and doesn't have a lot of like cachet, like he's not Christopher Nolan, he can't just walk in and say this is what I want to do. There is a problem where Marvel could come in and just say, "Hey, this is a movie we want you to make. You just direct it the way we tell you to do, and this is what it's going to be, and you don't have any creative input into it." That would be a problem for me. I would rather someone make a movie that looks and feels different than from every other Marvel movie that we've been seeing over the last 25 years. So now I'm going to get into the five things that I would like addressed in the Thunderbolts movies. All right, five questions I would like answered by the end of this movie. Okay, so before we get into that, you've already made it this far. Go ahead and drop that like and subscribe, please. Please do that. So number five, can the MCU movies work without a big bad? There's no Thanos. I'm assuming there's no Doctor Doom. I'm assuming there's no Loki. I'm assuming there's no, Kane the Conqueror. Like all these big bad guys. I'm assuming that there's not one of those in this movie, and these guys are just, battling with the government. So can an MCU movie work with such, a small, non-threatening, non-Earth threatening bad guy? Number four, where does this movie fit in the timeline for Captain America 4? Does this movie happen before whatever happens in Captain America 4, or does it happen after, or is it happening at the same time? Because I know the Black Widow movie, even though it came out after Endgame, that movie took place right after Civil War. So Marvel has no problem jumping around and moving things around as far as like the storyline and timelines and things like that. So there's a possibility that whatever happens in Captain America 4 might have happened before, during, or after whatever happens in Thunderbolts. So that's kind of what I'm curious to know about this movie. Um, my main sticking point, honestly, why is Bucky doing this? It felt like at the end of Captain America and Winter Soldier, or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it kind of felt like he was ready to be out the game. Like he went through a lot of like traumatic personal events. He has his, terrible past that he took a long time to get over. He had to go all the way to Wakanda to get his mind right. I don't know why he would, don the metal arm, the vibranium arm that was in his dishwasher, and get back out in the field like this. Like that, I need to know why he's doing this, because based on the trailer, it doesn't seem it doesn't seem like he's being mind controlled. So that would be a big question I would need answered. Number two, what has Taskmaster, Ghost, and the Red Guardian been doing all this time? So like the Red Guardian, we last saw him in Black Widow, which like I said was right after Civil War. Taskmaster, the same thing. Ghost, that was around Ant-Man 2, and that was right before the blip. So there's a pretty long window of like, okay, where have these people been? What have they been doing? It's been a very long time. A lot of main events have happened. Now, like obviously the blip, Thanos, what happened with Spider-Man with the portals and dimensions opening up. Uh, Captain America being black now, like that's a big deal. Like, how does this all happen? Like, where have you guys been? What have you been doing? I have a theory that the Red Guardian, they're gonna put him on that Thor post end or pre Endgame track where he's just fat, out of shape, and doesn't care, and he's just not trying to do it, and he's gonna get talked into doing it. I think that's how they're gonna do him. Um, and my last question that I would really like to have answered is, going forward, will the MCU focus on more street level, more realistic, non multiverse centered movies. Like obviously Secret Wars and Doomsday and the Fantastic Four, that's going to be dealing with some other things like outer space, cosmic, time travel, blah blah blah. But like this movie, Captain America 4, hopefully if they're making a Spider-Man movie, if they ever do like the Young Avengers, can Marvel thrive and make good movies just dealing with non-earth threatening threats? Like I would just like them to just fight regular villains or regular bad guys or deal with more personal conflict or strife or something like that. Like I don't need a portal opening up from the sky with a laser beam and a bunch of faceless, nameless aliens coming down to destroy Earth. Like we've seen that happen like 50 times. Like enough. Like let's get some regular. I don't want to say regular, but non-space alien villains just for a little bit. Like, can we do that before we get into Battle World or whatever? So that would be my thing. Those are the five things I would like answered after this movie. So I appreciate you guys watching. Another thing I did notice, it looked like Bucky was like in a Senate hearing or some legal situation. If they're gonna persecute Bucky Barnes for all of his, war crimes and all the things he did as a Winter Soldier, the person that they need to call up, and we don't have to talk about this now, but the person they need to call is Hawkeye. Like during the blip, Hawkeye was a legit terrorist. Like that dude needs to pay for his crimes. So maybe we'll see him in the movie. That would be cool. I'm fine with that. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are you excited for the Thunderbolts? Are you kind of meh on the MCU? Do you watch the Disney Plus shows? That's something I'd really be interested in knowing from you guys. So I appreciate you guys supporting me. Appreciate you guys watching the video and liking the video and all that good stuff. Somewhere on the screen, I did a trailer review for Agatha all along. So just click that button. It should be like right around here somewhere. And I appreciate you guys for watching. Peace.